Strategic Workforce Planning is a driver-based cloud service that helps human resource executives and stakeholders ensure they have the right people, with the right skills, at the right time, to achieve their strategic objectives. You can align daily operations with strategic goals using the following: detailed skills assessment to rank employees by provided and custom categories for strategic jobs, skills gap analysis to identify the future competency levels required for strategic jobs, demand planning to identify the workforce needed to meet strategic objectives using custom demand drivers and targets, supply planning to calculate the expected turnover for the existing workforce, and supply versus demand variance analysis. To focus only on the jobs that drive your strategic goals, you can configure the job type attribute dimension to differentiate between strategic and non-strategic jobs. You can also customize and extend your planning capabilities by enabling additional features and defining skills, categories, and demand drivers on the Configure page. Let's explore the key features of the strategic workforce planning process. On Overview, you can view key information about your employees and jobs, and optionally specify the average compensation if you want to assess the financial impact. By using the job type attribute dimension, you can filter this information to focus specifically on strategic roles. On Skills Assessment Summary, you can evaluate employees by business unit using provided or custom categories and rankings. This identifies the competency categories and employee skill level in each business unit. On Skills by Category, you can evaluate workforce skills by provided categories or custom categories that you create on the Configure page. On Skills by Employee, you can perform gap analysis to identify where additional training or guidance is needed, or whether hiring new employees would be a more effective solution. With demand planning, you can proactively identify the resources, headcount, and FTE required by business unit or job to achieve your driver-based strategic goals. You can enter demand driver data and use the following provided calculation logic: previous year's ratio, demand driver divided by rate, demand driver multiplied by rate, or custom to specify your own calculation formula. Then, assign drivers and targets to estimate FTE and compensation by business unit or job for the job types that are critical to your strategic goals. You can further define drivers by setting assumptions, overriding calculations at the job level, and entering demand rate and productivity scaling to use what-if planning, given gains or losses in productivity. You can also adjust the calculated FTE by job or business unit and view the average job compensation based on your FTE calculations. Next, use supply planning to assess your current workforce, using drivers such as attrition by age band or job and expected retirements to determine whether you'll have the necessary workforce to achieve your strategic objectives. Finally, use gap analysis to plan how to close the gap between demand and supply, such as planning for new hires or reallocating resources. You are now ready to start building a workforce plan aligned with your strategic goals. To learn more, visit docs.oracle.com.